There is a stillness inside Ontario restaurants, food waiting to be cooked, owners on the lookout for customers.
Before, a lot of people come here for the lunch and dinner, sit here and dine here, but nobody's sitting now.
But the owner of a pair of small restaurants in Toronto is once again hiring and preparing for a reopening next Monday.
If there is no more lockdown or any more restriction, I hope this will be good and we can build the business back.
The Ford government says it is forging ahead with the economic reopening, despite the fact that there are still 4,000 patients with COVID in hospital, 600 of whom are in intensive care, and despite the fact that non-urgent surgeries in Ontario are still being postponed.
The government is silent. I mean, there's simply not a word being said about how we're going to get through the backlog of surgeries and procedures.
In spite of all of that, the government is planning to slowly roll back restrictions beginning next Monday, fully reopening the economy in mid-March. One measure the Premier isn't making any promises on, though, is mandatory masking.
I can't say anytime soon. I think it really protects people.
The Ford government had initially indicated the mandatory masking mandates would end before April. That was before the Omicron variant hit, sidelining the government's timelines.
Just imagine that, this is going to be around for at least the winter and maybe the spring.
Masks have become a divisive issue in Ontario, leading to mass protests over the mandatory rules. Now, with widespread usage and relative acceptance, political leaders say it could be the last measure to be removed.
When it is prudent and cautious to take it off so that we have no chance of sliding backwards into another kind of lockdown.
Masks will still be a requirement when restaurants reopen for indoor dining, whatever it takes, they say, just to reopen.
We just have to walk through the fire, there is no other choice, right? It's not only me, it's like whole city, whole world.
Hoping they can finally open for good, unrestricted by a global pandemic.